Sir Thomas "Tom" Finney, CBE was an English footballer, famous for his loyalty to his league club, Preston North End, for whom he made 569 first-class appearances, and for his performances in the English national side. Finney was president of Kendal Town. For his charitable work, he was appointed an Officer of the Order of the British Empire in the 1961 New Year Honours and a Commander of the Order of the British Empire in the 1992 New Year Honours, and was knighted in the 1998 New Year Honours. Early life: Finney was born at home in Preston on a street next to the Deepdale Stadium to Margaret and Alfred Finney. He was frail and somewhat sickly in his youth and stood only 4 feet 9 in at the age of 14. When he was offered the opportunity to sign for Preston North End, his father insisted that he complete his apprenticeship in the family's plumbing business before signing as a professional. His mother died in 1927, aged 32. Finney was married to Elsie from 1945 until her death in 2004. She suffered from Alzheimer's disease, which led Finney to be a strong supporter of the Alzheimer's Society. They had 2 children, a son Brian and a daughter Barbara. Second World War: soon after Finney signed, however, the Second World War began and normal football was suspended, though Finney started to achieve some recognition during wartime tournaments. In December 1942, he made a guest appearance for Southampton in a 3-1 defeat by Arsenal at the Dell. Called up to serve in the Royal Armoured Corps in 1942, Finney fought in Montgomery's 8th Army in Egypt and later in Italy in the final offensive to capture Argenta in April 1945 as a Stuart tank driver in 9th Lancers. Local leave in North Africa allowed him to play in Army teams against local opposition, and on one occasion he played against the future actor Omar Sharif. Post-war career and England debut. Once normal competition was restored, Finney made his debut for Preston in August 1946 and soon established himself as an agile forward. Post-war demand for plumbers ensured that he had a second income to supplement the £14 he received as a footballer and was nicknamed the Preston Plumber. Such was his influence on the team that Preston were, rather unfairly, known to some as the Plumber and his 10 drips. 28 days after his first league appearance for Preston, and aged 24, Finney made his England debut against Northern Ireland in Belfast, scoring once in England's 7-2 victory. Finney referred to this as his proudest day as a footballer. He went on to win 76 caps and score 30 goals in an England career that spanned 13 years and included 51 victories. In 1952, Preston's chairman Nat Buck rejected an offer for Finney worth £10,000 over 2 years from Italian club Palermo, and Finney remained a one-club player. He was voted Footballer of the Year in 1953 Euro 54, the season of his only appearance in the FA Cup final where Preston lost 3-2 to West Bromwich Albion. He was Footballer of the Year again in 1956 Euro 57, becoming the first player to win this award more than once. Finney revealed in his autobiography that he was not fully match fit for the 1954 FA Cup final, and therefore did not give his best performance. Finney formed an attacking partnership with Tommy Thompson in the 1950s. In the 1956 Euro 57 season they scored 56 goals altogether. Next season their combined tally was 60 goals. In June 1958, he scored his 29th international goal, against the Soviet Union to become joint England all-time top scorer, sharing the record with Vivian Woodward and Nat Lofthouse. In October the same year, he netted his 30th goal, against Northern Ireland, to become the sole holder of the record. 2 weeks later, Lofthouse equalled his tally. Both were surpassed by Bobby Charlton in October 1963. Finney's final appearance for England came in October 1958, in a 5-0 win over the Soviet Union at Wembley. Dave Whelan described Finney as the perfect gentleman, explaining that in Whelan's first game back for Blackburn Rovers after recovering from a broken leg, he had to mark Finney in a 1962 pre-season friendly against Preston. Finney said, "You've had some bad luck, son, and I'm not going to take you on. I want you to get through today's game and get back into the first team." Retirement: Finney retired from Preston North End in 1960, only when forced out with a persistent groin injury. He had played his entire career for his local club, making 433 league appearances and scoring 187 goals. He came out of retirement in 1963 to play for Northern Irish club Distillery against Benfica in the European Cup. The season following Finney's retirement, Preston were relegated from the top flight of English football. Finney was the subject of This Is Your Life in 1988 when he was surprised by Michael Aspel and a coach full of his former England team players in central London. Celebrating Finney's 90th birthday in 2012, Tommy Docherty said to me, "Messi is Finney reborn." The Splash. On July 31, 2004, Finney unveiled the water feature sculpture The Splash, by sculptor Peter Hodgkinson, which stands outside the National Football Museum. The sculpture was inspired by the 1956 Sports Photograph of the Year, which features Finney beating two defenders at a waterlogged Stamford Bridge. Preston North End. Finney maintained his links with Preston North End as the club's president, and 2006 marked 60 years since his first league debut for the club. To mark this occasion, the National Football Museum, an organisation which he championed and with which he had close links, invited football fans to sign a specially commissioned flag which was presented to Finney at the beginning of the 2006-07 season to mark his 60 years with Preston. Death. Finney died on February 14, 2014. The cause of death was not announced. The Football Association called him one of England's all-time greatest players, while fellow England player Bobby Charlton said Finney's contributions to football were immeasurable. Former teammate and Liverpool manager, Bill Shankly, had called him the greatest player to ever play the game, while Stanley Matthews once compared him to Diego Maradona, Pele copyright, George Best and Alfredo Di Station copyright Fano. At the time of his death aged 91, Finney was one of England's oldest living former international footballers. Quotes about Finney: Tom Finney would have been great in any team, in any match and in any age. Even if he had been wearing an overcoat. Shankly was asked about how a top star of the day compared to Finney: he's as good as Tommy a Euro, but then Tom is nearly 60 now. Tom Finney should claim income tax relief for his 10 dependents. Career statistics. Source. Preston North End, Football League First Division, runner-up 1952 a Euro 53, 1957 a Euro 58. Third place 1956 a Euro 57, Football League Second Division, 1950 a Euro 51, FA Cup, runner-up 1954, FWA Footballer of the Year, 1954, 1957, source. Bibliography, Finney, T. Tom Finney. My Autobiography. ISBN 0-7553-1106-X. Finney, T. Tom Finney's Preston North End Scrapbook. ISBN 0-285-62554-3. Finney, T. Finney on Football. ISBN B000CK63X. Finney, T. Instructions to Young Footballers. ISBN B000CJABP. Finney, T. Football Round the World. ISBN B000CIMPY. Agnew, P. Tom Finney, A Football Legend. ISBN 0-9530847-9-5. Booth, J. Tom Finney, A Pictorial Tribute. ISBN 1-900-1966-00-3. References. External links. Tom Finney at the Internet Movie Database, full list of Finney's international goals. Tom Finney at the International Football Hall of Fame, Tom Finney profile at Football England, Tom Finney's appearance on This Is Your Life.